pick friends carefully. I mean, like be sure of whom you are going to work with. Many times you get flown out by the idea, like somebody is just slightly interested in the idea, you say, okay Baba, you come and become CFO of my company. Don't do that. I mean, let him be part of the starting group, let him be part of the starting of the company, but like whether that person is really the CFO or not, you never know. Think about scaling from early days. So when you are assembling a team, think about what will happen when this team grows to 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people or hundreds of people in future. So the processes that you put in place, the discipline that you put in place, you have to think that whatever you are doing should be scalable in the longer run. So if you are getting a problem, ensure that you set a process for it so that it doesn't ever arise again. You address problems to processes so that you can scale easily in future. And pick people, you know, with same vision or in fact even with slightly different visions who are crazy enough to work with you. The next important dot is finance, or where do you get the money from? So everybody has this question, like I don't have the money to start a company, what would I do, how would I start a company? It's fairly easy. I mean, if you are a technology company and if you are a technologist yourself, well, you can sit and code yourself. If you are a non-techie guy and you have a technology idea, find a friend who can code for free for you and make him a part of your team. And yes, you need money. Like if you want to do advertising, you want to do traveling, you need money. So the first source of money for any company is these 3 F's, which is friends, families, and food. So you can bootstrap a venture. So we never raise any form of special capital for TouchMagix. We bootstrap the venture. What does bootstrapping mean is that you get, like you start off the company with some initial capital that you have out of the consulting work or the services work that you've been doing, and use that capital to service the product, and you like decide at one point that stop the services and start the company or start like full-fledged dedication on the product. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people get diverted also in this way because services are so easy to get attracted to that you can get deep drilled down into अरे इधर तो पैसा दे रहे ना फिर क्यों नहीं जाए उसके पास like that. But you have to be very careful when you pick this way of bootstrapping. And when you are bootstrapping, you can also get some initial paying customers. I mean, in our case, we got the first paying customer within the first 1 year of building the product. So, like in the first 2-3 customers, we recovered our development cost, and post that, we started building up the team, and we ensured that like this whole bootstrapping thing works properly. For larger projects or people who have exhausted the first 3 F's while bootstrapping the venture, there are other options, like you can go for an angel funding. So angel, like you can approach groups like Pune Angels, Mumbai Angels, or like bunch of other angel groups around. You can go for a VC fund. But see, all these people, they would be looking for you to have something ready in your hand, or at least have an initial customer paying for that product in your hand. So these are not the first sources of funding. Nobody will ever give you money just on an idea. You have to go and prove that idea to them with a paying customer. So keep that as a target in mind whenever you are thinking of this idea. Like all these sources of funds will essentially help you scale up. You can go for private equity, like if you are playing a long-term game, you don't want that instant acquisition, you go for a private equity based fund, or my favorite one is like just get a loan from the bank, because that's the cheapest way you can get money into the company. But when you're doing that, when I say cheapest, I mean you are not shelling off equity or a significant amount of your holdings in lieu for money. So you don't know how big you're going to become in the initial phases. If a certain loan is solving the problem, you can just go ahead and take a loan and solve this problem. The next important dot is having the right belief and attitude, and I feel like this is a very important dot as part of your business or being an entrepreneur. So find the right gurus, advisors and mentors who can hold your ear at times. I mean, you need someone to have a stick behind you. Like the reason you studied in your school and college was because your parents were with a stick behind you, right? So you need someone who can actually be that stick, who tells you what is right in life and what is wrong in life. So you need to build this circle of gurus and mentors to guide you, to talk to you. Be determined to solve problems. You have to be a problem solver. Like keep on refining the vision. Don't be stuck to an idea that I started my company like this, I'm going to run it like this, that's why I'm this way and I'm that way. Like keep on refining that vision and build this vision to scale up the company. Propagate this vision to the team. So keep on communicating this vision to the team, like, and create that same belief and attitude that you have in the team. And believe in your ideas and keep a listening ear to the customer. I mean, you don't need to listen to everything that the customer says, but you need to listen to what the customer is saying at least, because if they are complaining, you better fix the problem, because they are the ones who are letting your business thrive. So these are the important dots, that like I have learned in my life, and which I feel that anybody should be finding or figuring out before starting your own business. And these, I may not have covered all the aspects of starting a business, but it's not that hard, like finally, like when all these things come together as an entrepreneur, combined with a lot of hard work and a little bit of luck, you will end up creating a successful business. Thank you. So yeah, we can have a round of questions. Feel free to ask questions. You want this mic? Yes.
You said about bouncing the ideas to validate to your friend. Bounce your ideas around. Suppose we have an idea where specific market research is to be done for a niche segment. How do we go about it? Because just bouncing off ideas from friends and relatives might not give us the whole picture.
Right, absolutely. So you should. So when I say bounce off the ideas, it depends who your customer is. So you should also bounce off the ideas to your potential customers or people who understand your potential customers. So I'm assuming that your friend, would be in sync with you in terms of understanding a little bit about market. But what happens is that everybody brings a perspective. Like I had this idea. So when I was in US, I had this idea of creating a last mile ad injector in a Wi-Fi router. Okay, so say if you're sitting in a coffee shop and anybody comes and opens a laptop, and they would get free internet, and in lieu of that we would put an advertisement on that laptop's web page that they are surfing. Now on the surface this sounds like a great idea, okay, like okay, you monetize by advertising, and I was really excited with this idea. In fact, I won a business plan competition also with this idea. Okay, so I was like so determined to start off this company, but I was discussing this idea with people, and I met with one person who was actually an expert in ads, and when I bounced off this idea to him, he said that the economics of ads don't work in this way. And he taught me how the economics of ads work. So he said that if you were at one coffee shop, how many people would come and see your ad in a day? He said, let's say 100. Okay, so 100 people are coming and seeing, let's say 10 impressions or 20 impressions of your ad while they are surfing. Like this, I'm saying an upper figure. So if you do the math, like the amount of money required to get those eyeballs doesn't justify the way online advertising works. I mean, it's just cheaper to build a good website and get millions of users to that website and show them an ad there than deploying a full-fledged network of these Wi-Fi routers across the place, injecting the Wi-Fi ads or ads over Wi-Fi and monetizing on it. So I was completely drowned into that idea that this is the best idea. In fact, I won an award for it, like a business plan competition for it. But when you do this reality check while sharing with friends or while you're sharing with your mentors or gurus, they bring in a different perspective, and that's why sharing that idea is very important.
Nice question.
Questions? Yes.
Yeah, Anup, I would like to ask you, like, do we, keeping the idea apart, as an entrepreneur, will you sell your company if somebody gives you the required amount? Let's say somebody gives you $100 million today, will you sell your company?
So the question is that will you sell your company if somebody is ready to give you a good price for it? And the answer is yes, why not? I mean, like there is no, see, whenever you are starting a company, you are working hard towards it, you are dedicated towards it, you have some emotional attachment to it, but finally you should be very clear. I mean, if you are a businessman, why are you doing business? To make money. And if some opportunity is allowing you to make a certain amount of money, might as well go and do it. But it's very important to sell it at the right time. I mean,